This episode is brought to you by Nerds Candy, calling all the stylish, trend-setting nerds out there, the sneakerheads and makeup fiends, the film buffs and reality TV lovers, the style icons, the pop culture geeks. When nerds come together, we live louder, celebrating our passions in our own way. So let's raise our nerds in unison. The sweet, tangy, crunchy candy that's perfect for sharing. Nerds, shake things up. Shop now at nerdscandy.com.
It's that time of year again. Time to print your holiday cards, take your family photos, find the perfect gifts, string the lights, and sprinkle some holiday cheer. At FedEx Office, we want to help simplify your season so you can get back to unwrapping the magic. We want to make designing holiday cards festive again. Printing as easy as click and ship. And packing and shipping, that's kind of our thing. So check off that to-do list and create more happy for the holidays at office.fedex.com.
Oh dear. The designification process has begun!
Hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel. My name is Dave and I'm one of the two hosts of this very festive podcast.
And I'm Rich and I'm the other host of this very festive podcast. Think of me as Santa to Dave's Rudolph. I'm a jolly fat man with a whitening beard and his nose glows in the dark.
Especially when I drink. The premise of Unequal Sequel is very simple. We ask our guests their best ever sequel, worst ever sequel, and finally their dream sequel.
And of course, we often drift off course and have just a good chat about movies in general.
And on today's episode, we are joined by ourselves. You lucky people.
Yeah. Welcome to a Christmas special where it's just me and Dave. Well, it's not actually though, is it, Dave? We have got some special guests too. So who have we got?
We've got appearing. We've got Nick Helm.
Woo-hoo.
We've got Stu Whiffen.
Woohoo!
We've got Jane Crowther.
Woohoo!
We've got Jack Chambers from the Sequelisers.
Woohoo!
And we've got Ian Nathan.
Woohoo!
Who hasn't been on an episode yet.
No, but will be very soon.
And he's brilliant. So we're very excited to sit down and chat all things Christmas sequels with us and our guests.
These are our unequal Christmas sequels. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, so what we need to do is explain this is a very special Christmas episode. And what we're going to do is Dave and I are going to go through our best, worst and dream Christmas sequels. But we have also got some of our special guests from past, present and Christmas future to answer the question of their best, worst and dream Christmas sequels. So we will have us intercut with wonderful celebrity guests.
I can't wait. This sounds really good. I can't wait to listen to this one.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas, Rich.
Happy Christmas, Dave.
So, Rich, what's your memory of the first Christmas sequel that you watched?
Oh, I wasn't prepared for these. I don't have many memories of Christmas sequels, I've got to be honest. I can't think when the first Christmas sequel was that I watched. I know the first Christmas movie was that I watched. It was
what was that?
Santa Claus the movie, the one with Dudley Moore. Yeah, and I watched it at the cinema for my 5th birthday, because my birthday's 2 days before Christmas. So I watched that for my 5th birthday, and then I watched Transformers the movie on my 6th birthday. So yeah, I remember that.
Of course. It wouldn't be Christmas without a mention of Transformers, would it?
It wouldn't. Hopefully, we'll get some Transformers from Santa to play with on Christmas Day. Who knows?
He's not lying. He's not lying either.
What about you, Dave? What's your first memory of Christmas sequels past?
Christmas sequels past. I think it's my best sequel.
Okay, don't mention it yet then. Well, let's get cracking, shall we?
Yeah. What a link.
Yeah, what a lovely link. In that case, Dave, what is your best Christmas sequel?
My favourite Christmas sequel ever is Home Alone 2, which is also my first Christmas sequel I ever watched.
Nice.
And I stand by it. I watched it the other night, and I still think it's better than Home Alone, which is also a very good Christmas film. But Home Alone 2 is my Christmas sequel favourite.
So why is it your favourite, Dave?
Well, not only do I love Home Alone, like I just said, I just think it's better. I think the traps are better in New York. I think it's funnier. I think Daniel Stern, when he gets hit by bricks outside the apartment, literally makes me wet myself every year. The way that Marv gets hit by bricks and goes, Howie, it just brilliant. I just think it's a brilliant sequel. I think it has everything that is good about the first one, and they up it a little bit more, and they bring all the cast back. You know, you've still got Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern, Macaulay Culkin, still very believable, brilliant child actor. Because you know that's the problem with recent Home Alone films, that the child actors are not great. So I just think it's brilliant, and it's very Christmassy. The music's there, the look's there. Yeah, it's great. I love it. I actually love it. I think it's a cracking film. I know not everyone agrees that Home Alone 2 is the best sequel out of them, but then I think they're wrong.
I don't think there's any better. There's no better sequels in that Home Alone franchise, is there? 3 and 4 are terrible. We've done Home Sweet Home Alone. We know that's not good.
Yeah.
So it's only Home Alone 2 really that counts. I kind of had a feeling you were going to choose this because I know you, and
I bring it up a lot.
This is going to be your choice. Yeah. I deliberately steered away from it because I thought I know this is going to be Dave's choice, so I'm going to choose something different.
I like to be predictable.
What's your favourite scene? What's your favourite bit of Home Alone 2?
My favourite...
Is it when Donald Trump shows up?
Oh, yeah. That's not good, that bit. I have 2 favourite bits. I like the bit when, he puts the video on and when they're all trying to get in the hotel room, and Tim Curry's so good. Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
I'm going to say that's my favourite bit too.
And he's listing all those names, and there's Cliff. That makes me laugh.
Johnny, little Tim with a gimpy leg.
It's not true. Tim Curry's so good at this. Get down on your knees. We love you.
Very good.
Yeah. Do wrap up warm. It's awfully cold out there. Obviously, my favourite bit is the whole, the half an hour towards the end when they're just going through the apartment and getting waxed by every brick, paint can, pipe, falling down holes, getting electrocuted, burnt alive.
I mean, Harry and Marv would basically be dead in about 3 seconds into that sequence.
Definitely
right?
Marv. Definitely Marv. Some kind of brain damage. I think that's where in my head there's only 2 Home Alone films. The other 3, 4, 3,
I think. I don't know, maybe more.
Don't exist. They're not Home Alone films. They haven't got the essence that this one has, or the feel, or the link. And it's just the ultimate. It's the ultimate Christmas film. And let's be honest, once in a while I'm like, I wish they did a proper Home Alone 3. But if they did a Home Alone 3, that mother would definitely have those children taken away from them.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no way you can lose a child for the 3rd time and the police be go, you know what?
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not the greatest of parent, are you?
1 is unfortunate. 2, sloppy. 3, no. There's something going on.
Yeah, and in this one, when I was little and I watched this, I bought a box set and it had a hat, Home Alone hat, and the VHS, and I've still got the hat somewhere, and I try and get it to fit my massive head. And they had the Talk Boy. Do you remember the Talk Boy recorder?
Yeah,
I always wanted a Talk Boy recorder. I never got it, Mum and Dad.
I have to say, they are not as good as they... I've not got one, but I had a friend who had one, and they are not as cool as they seem in that film.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. And the sludge, the slime he buys. I always wanted to go to New York, still haven't so far. The last couple of years have, put me off it. Or 4 years, or whatever it was beforehand. And staying in that hotel like that, having a fridge with cookies in, just going to see all the sights. I was like, oh, that's the ultimate. Without my parents, brilliant. But I do love my parents.
Maybe this year, probably not this year, but maybe in the future, we talked about going on holiday on the Jane Crowther episode and doing the Call Me By Your Name holiday. Maybe we could do, me and you, leave the wives at home instead of our parents, and we can go and do the Home Alone 2 Lost in New York holiday.
Yeah. Go and find a pigeon woman, make friends with her.
Yeah.
Sneak into the Royal Albert Hall, whatever it is their version of, and try and listen to music. I always thought that was because
Carnegie Hall.
I love to have a room you can just sneak in and listen to the music and watch the concerts for free. You must get a really good view from up there.
Get a cheese pizza in the back of a limo.
Cheese pizza. Watching the Grinch. Go to Duncan's toy chest.
Oh yeah. Doesn't exist, unfortunately, but yeah.
What?
I don't think it's real, is it?
I don't know. Go and see the big Rockefeller.
There'll be a toy shop we could go to. Yeah.
Go to the Rockefeller Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Go to the top of. I can't go to the Two Towers.
No. Meet Donald Trump though. We could go to Trump Towers.
Isn't his hotel that they recorded? Isn't it? He owns that.
That is Trump Towers. Yeah.
And that's why he's in it.
Yeah, because he said you can record in the hotel, but I've got to be in the movie, basically.
Is there a Christmas sequel you like, hate, or you want more of?
I'd say one of the best Christmas films in the world that's ever existed is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is part 3 of a franchise and the best, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like a Christmas tradition. I will watch that Christmas morning every year. Bottle of Bucks Fizz. Probably a pork pie, but I think it's such a good Christmas film, family film, comedy. It's Chevy Chase at his best. Christmas Vacation is not only a sequel but a great Christmas film. I think a terrible Christmas sequel would be not terrible, but again, it's like Die Hard 2. It's Home Alone. I would say it's the same. But why would you watch Home Alone 2?
Dave loves Home Alone 2. He's getting all upset now.
I just think why would you pick Home Alone 2 over Home Alone? I think it's more sentimental. I think he's slightly older and less cute, and
it's got Donald Trump in it.
Got Donald Trump in it, so it's got its positives. It's got the best president that ever lived. Why do you like Home Alone 2? Why do you prefer it to Home Alone?
I do prefer it to Home Alone, yeah. Just. It's not like it's and I agree with everything you just said, but it makes me laugh a little bit more. I like the tower block house of the traps. I like when he throws bricks at Harry. It makes me laugh every time. I like the bit in the hotel room when they're all say that you love me, get down on your knees, and they all have to get down on his knees. It just makes me chuckle all the way through.
It's got Tim Curry and Rob Schneider in it.
Tim Curry is so good in it.
Do you know what? But then it's got the bird lady, who is awful. That whole subplot is awful, and it's kind of like they've gone, what worked well with the guy with the shovel in the first film, and they've Home Alone 2 is amped up, but in every respect. It's got a more ambitious location. It's got more ambitious stunts. It's the same, but more.
Yeah.
But also in the terms of sentimentality, the sentimentality is amped up. And so it's kind of like, it's not funnier. It's just more sentimental and slushy. And it's just kind of like, I really hate the way I feel like manipulated in it. But I'm not saying that Home Alone 2 is a bad film. I'm just saying it unfortunately follows Home Alone, which is a great Christmas film.
I think the worst thing about Home Alone 2 is he's not at home. He's not home alone at all.
He's not home alone. He's not home alone. He's not home. But also,
the whole title's a lie.
If Home Alone 2 was on TV and I needed a Home Alone fix, I would watch Home Alone 2. And I would say if you were to do a Home Alone marathon and watch all of the Home Alone films, Home Alone 2 would be a distant memory by the time you get to the last one and you go, God, that was a masterpiece. Like, they get bad quick.
Yeah.
And then what was the third category? Was
a dream sequel of a Christmas film. That'd be the hardest one, I imagine.
That is a hard one. Like, because some of my favorite Christmas films, like Miracle on 34th Street, that's a remake.
Yeah.
I prefer the remake. I'm just tell you what my favourite Santa Claus
Like
movie
Elf.
was. I mean, I've seen a Will Ferrell sequel, and
They're not good.
there's something about comedy sequels that are like Ghostbusters 2 is set around that time of year, and that's a sequel.
Die Hard 2's a
Die
Christmas
Hard.
film.
Do you know? I've got an observation I made about Die Hard 2, which would, it would make the whole film null and void.
Go on.
Yeah. When he's in the bar at the beginning of the film, he
Yep.
sort of like has an exchange with someone, or maybe it's a police officer, and he's sort of hanging out, and he sees the two terrorists, and they do a bag exchange, where one of them puts a box under the table and he slides it over with his foot, and the other one picks it up, and it's really suspicious. And John McClane notices that, and he tells the police, and that's what first alerts him to the terrorists. Yeah. The problem with that is the box are wrapped up like Christmas presents, so he could have just given it to him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have, they didn't have to do anything suspicious. He could have given him a big wrapped up box with a bow on it, with like a bomb in it or like a gun in it or whatever. And he could have just handed it over to him. He goes, "Hey mate, it's great to see you. Here's the detonator." Yeah. But he doesn't. He slides it under a table that is wrapped up in a box with a bow on it. Slides it under the table. And that's how they do it, which is what alerts him to it. And he's just like, "Oh, you fucking idiots," right? They're so like manly men that they can't express their emotions because they're terrorists, and they couldn't have just given each other a hug and a Christmas present. They had to do it like they were doing a thing. It was pathetic. I don't know. Santa Claus the movie was my favorite Christmas film growing up.
Me too.
I could have done with some more Dudley Moore as an elf.
Yeah.
Or it could just be a sequel to any film that's set at Christmas. What about a Terminator movie that's set at Christmas?
Yeah.
It goes back to year zero.
I say Jesus.
He goes back, and he could wipe out the. Why don't you travel back in time to when the population of the Earth was 4 people and murder them? I suppose Skynet had to exist.
Yeah.
You could bring Skynet back, though, couldn't you? And then take over the world.
I mean, there are massive plot holes in any time travel movie, right?
I think Terminator 3 is the only one. I don't know. I haven't seen all of the Terminator films. I couldn't. But
You're not missing out.
No, sure.
They're awful.
I think you could do a sequel to any movie and set it at Christmas, and it would probably be
fantastic.
a bit better.
Yeah, of course it would, because Christmas makes everything a little bit better, doesn't it? Because we can all eat lots of cake and not worry about life.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
the true meaning of Christmas.
It is. Do you know what? I'm going to apply for a job at Wix, and I'm going to help people build some memories.
Yeah. What's your choice?
Well, mine might be slightly out there, and I don't think many people are going to agree with me on this, but I very much love this movie, and it is The Santa Claus 2. I love The Santa Claus. I think it's a great movie. I love Tim Allen in it, and I really like The Santa Claus 2. I think it's really cute, and I really find it quite funny, and I totally get that most people hate it. I'm not saying it's the best movie ever. It's just my favourite.
When did you see it? How old is it?
So
why did this happen?
Here's the thing. I saw The Santa Claus, the first one, on my 13th birthday, I think, probably around that.
About 95, isn't it?
Yeah, 94, I think it was. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been around 13. I definitely saw it at the cinema. I didn't want to go. I thought I was too old for it, and actually secretly really enjoyed it. And
did you go with your parents, mum and dad, or
I think I went with my
friends?
mum probably and my brother, and I wasn't all that fussed about watching it. But
is this the younger brother?
Yeah, not much younger. So I've got 2 brothers. So I've got one brother who is 3 years younger than me, and then I've got a brother who's like 8 years younger than me.
So were you going with for them? And you're like, okay, I'll come along.
Well, no, I think it was just like a family Christmas thing. We always used to go to the cinema as a family for Christmas. It was sort of like a birthday treat for me. But yeah, I wasn't that fussed about watching it. But like any young teenager would, I'm like, I don't want to watch a Disney movie with Tim Allen in it about Father Christmas. It's gonna be rubbish. And then I got there and I was like, really liked it. And so when the Santa Claus 2 came out, bearing in mind this was 2002, and I was 21, far too old to be able to watch the Santa Claus 2. I loved it. I don't think I watched it at the cinema. I think I must have got it on DVD, but I really love it. I love Bernard in the first one, don't get me wrong, but I really especially love Curtis, who is the second elf in this one. I think there's some cracking lines. I really love Tim Allen as the kind of toy fake Santa. I think he's brilliant. I think there's some cracking lines in it. Yeah, I think it just makes me chuckle and makes me feel happy and Christmassy every time I watch it. And yeah it's great.
And your son, does he like?
He does. Yeah, we watched it together. A couple of days ago now, not very long ago now. But yeah, I really enjoy it. It's got Elizabeth Mitchell in it as Carol.
That's the wife, right?
She becomes Mrs. Claus. So the whole premise of this movie is that if you've not seen the Santa Claus, the premise is that Tim Allen knocks Santa off the roof and Santa dies. And Tim Allen puts on his jacket, and that makes him the next Santa. And hilarity ensues where he gets fat and grows a beard and all this kind of stuff, which, I found quite funny. And in the second one, he starts to turn back into, like, Tim Allen again, because there's a second clause where he has to get married. Otherwise, he turns back into a normal person and not Santa. And yeah, so there's a great line where Curtis is like, "Oh no, the desantification process has begun," and I love it. I think it's great. But yeah, it's really cool. And so yeah, Carol is the person he meets and marries, and yeah, it's all lovely.
I don't think so.
I can absolutely tell by your face, Dave, that you hate this film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's stick on the good stuff for a while, though. So, is there a scene you like that really, if no one had seen the Santa Claus or the Santa Claus 2,
yeah,
where would you say go watch this scene and it will get you into it?
I mean, I love the whole thing. I especially love Judge Reinhold's jumpers, which are brilliant.
Oh, I forgot it.
But I think probably the scene is the best scene is kind of where they're making Santa Claus, making a giant toy Santa to fool all the elves into thinking that Santa's not turned back into a normal person and not spread panic. And when he first comes out of the machine and they're kind of teaching him and he's like learning to ho ho ho, and he's like ho 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 ho. Yeah, I like that.
Is there a Christmas sequel that you either love, hate, or you want to see more of?
Christmas sequel. Ooh, what Christmas sequels even are there? That is the real question. Not including the bloody Harry Potter.
I would say them.
No,
but if you want to really? Say a dream sequel, might be Elf 2.
My personal favourite Christmas sequel, the Santa Claus 2,
or a rubbish one, the Santa Claus 3.
Love it. that is rubbish.
That is dog shit. What was the
Christmas sequels?
The Kurt Russell one, the sequel to that last year on Netflix. The Christmas Chronicles. The second one was rubbish, but the first one was really good. I really enjoyed the first one. Home Alone 2, Die Hard 2.
Dream Christmas sequel, A Nightmare Before Christmas 2.
Okay.
Oh.
Get more weird, quirky horror, and speaking of Tim Burton, get more in that universe. I want to see more of that world, more, because I don't understand that universe. It makes no sense. There's no logic to that world. It's all puppets, and they're actual puppets in real life because they have stuffing inside them, and they're also alive, and there's kids, but there's also a sack that's kind of the devil, and I don't really understand what's going on. But I find that film fascinating, and yeah, I'd like to like to see more of that world.
Is it not a Halloween film?
You tell me.
It's
Well, I
both.
don't know.
It's both, Dave. It's
I can't decide.
That's the
It's
whole
Halloween
point.
and Christmas.
It's got the word Christmas in the title, so I'm counting
That is
it.
true. I saw that on my birthday one year, and my birthday is January the 2nd, and I hated it. And it wasn't before Christmas either; it was after it.
Yeah, the worst time to see it is like 10 months away from Halloween, and 2 weeks after Christmas.
Well, that's
And
when
you're
it got released,
You know
I
when you really
believe.
burn out from Christmas, and when you're like as far away from Halloween as possible. Yeah, that's a great time to see that.
It didn't get released in January, did it? Because that's not the Nightmare Before Christmas. That's the Nightmare slightly after Christmas.
No, but it would have been released before Christmas, obviously. But it was
Right.
that back in the day when films would stay in cinemas for more than a few days.
It was a Halloween release for the record.
Was it?
In 1993, yeah, it was a Halloween release, yeah.
So why did I see it on my birthday? I definitely saw it. My mum and dad were like, "What do you want to go and see?" And I was like, "Oh, Nightmare Before Christmas."
Maybe they
It looks-
re-showed it because it was Christmas. Yeah,
Maybe I went and saw it early. Maybe
My
I
li-
don't know when my birthday is.
My little boy absolutely loves it.
Really?
He loves it. He really
Yeah.
likes it. He talks about Jack
good.
Skellington all the time. Yeah, he's a big fan.
Yeah.
I know you got to think quick here, Jack. But what would you like the sequel to be?
Ooh, how does it end? And I think,
I think he accepts that he's not Santa Claus, pretty much.
well, yeah, Jack and Sally get together, and I would be very worried that we'd end up doing like the Shrek films go into, and it's like, oh, it's all the little baby Shreks and Fionas, and the Shrek sequels are shit. I don't care what you say. Well, I've had fights online with people about Shrek too.
Okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh, I don't know. Would you try and theme it around like Easter or some other kind of holiday special? Do you know what I mean? Like do some other
Thanksgiving or yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't care about Thanksgiving. I'm English, but yeah, the audience would, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. The night before Labor Day or whatever they have in America.
Or someone else tries to take over Christmas and Jack tries to stop, save, blah, blah.
Yeah. Have him step up as
Yeah.
a Santa Claus kind of character and embrace his nice side, for want of a better phrase. Yeah.
Maybe the Tooth Fairy tries to take over Christmas and Jack has to...
An evil tooth fairy, yeah.
That sounds really creepy and really would work.
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
The tooth fairy is terrifying at the best of times, so I think Reggie,
Especially when
we've
played
just
by Dwayne
workshopped
The Rock
this, and I
Johnson.
think- is that Vin Diesel or is that The Rock?
No, that's The Rock. Vin Diesel's
The
the
Rock.
pacifier.
The pacifier,
Yeah.
that's the one. God, yeah. Jesus
Jesus,
Christ.
man. Don't know why I know that.
Because you do a film podcast, Dave, that's why. It's our job to know these things.
I prefer Mr. Nanny if we're going down that route.
Oh, yeah,
That shows my age.
yeah. Then no. I mean, I'm a wrestling fan. We could get into a whole wrestling thing, but let's not do that. But yeah, the Nightmare Before Tooth Fairy, however that would work.
Again, I think we've
Yeah,
nailed it.
yeah,
Well done. Cheers,
Trademark that right now.
Okay, do you want to know what my worst sequel is?
Santa Claus 2.
Yeah, Santa Claus 2/3.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. And like I say, not going to be something that everyone likes. I will
I think
guarantee
these
to
are
you, though,
rubbish.
my worst sequel is worse than it. Than whatever you think of the Santa Claus 2, my worst sequel is worse.
What about the Santa Claus 3, the escape clause?
That's not as good. I have to be honest. Like I'm not so down with the Santa Claus 3. I can watch it, but I don't know. It's yeah. Okay.
It's such a waste because Martin Shaw is so good.
Yeah. Martin Short is good, and it could be very good, but it's not. It's yeah. It just misses it for me.
I don't think these films have aged very well.
Do you not?
No. But you might be right. You've got a child and sat down if George liked it. But I watched 1 and 2. We put them on when we were putting the tree up a couple of weeks ago. And I was just like, I was sitting there going, these are just rubbish.
And I think this is the thing with Christmas movies is that it's become part of my Christmas now that I watch 1 and 2. And I don't generally watch 3. But
Good plan. Or we stopped at 2 as well.
I watch 1 and 2, and that's kind of gets me into the Christmas spirit. I do a 12 movies of Christmas. So 12 days leading up to Christmas, I watch a different Christmas movie on each day. And I change it every year and move it about. But I always have the Santa Claus and Santa Claus 2 in there. I just love them.
What? Oh, my Lord. It must be just a sense of humour I don't get. Like, I don't find Tim Allen very funny. I've never liked Home Improvement, who is...
No, I did. I always quite liked Home Improvement. I like him as Buzz Lightyear. You know,
Love Buzz Lightyear.
He's kind of full Buzz Lightyear in this. He even says, "You're a sad, strange little man" in this one. You know, in Santa Claus 2, just like he does when he's Buzz Lightyear.
Does he say that because he is Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah.
And it's Disney?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's sad.
And that's the thing. I know it's not a good movie. I absolutely know objectively it is not a good movie. But I still love it. Like,
but
the
the boy's a terrible actor in Santa Claus 1 and 2, the son.
Eric Lloyd.
The Bernard characters, it's quite funny how they've got a grown man at the age. Just, you can tell he's rapidly getting older during filming.
He is an elf. He's supposed to be like 2,000 years old.
And the effects are not great. And this is after, I think of everything. When was Jurassic Park? And this is after Jurassic Park.
Very different budget to Jurassic Park, though, Dave. This is a Christmas movie starring Tim Allen. You know, it's not got anywhere near the budget of Jurassic Park.
I don't care. I don't care. If you can make me believe in dinosaurs, make me believe that a reindeer can fly. I'm not asking for much. I can't believe they got a sequel out of it. Okay, it is quite clever. They called it the Santa Claus, and it's about a clause in the list. I think that.
And this one is the Mrs. Claus.
Oh, that I don't like.
You don't like that either.
And then we got the escape clause in the third one. Yeah. And I know I'm clumping them all together in this, but I don't like any of the series.
That's okay.
And my wife likes watching them. And I think like you with certain films and me, I watched them at the wrong time because I did not watch these until about 4 years ago.
Right. Okay.
And now I have to watch them every year apparently because it's on the Christmas list of movies we have to watch. But sometimes I try and get busy around that point and try and do some other things. And
it just makes me feel Christmassy. It just this film and the first one just make me feel Christmassy. And
you felt? Did you not feel Christmassy until you watched them?
I genuinely didn't actually.
Oh wow, Tim Allen makes you feel Christmassy.
I know he does. He really does. Like and I know he's his in real life he's not a great guy, but yeah, he makes me feel Christmassy. What can I say?
Well, I'm sorry that as soon as you said your best Santa Claus 2, I was like, oh God, we're gonna have a very awkward conversation in a minute.
I'm interested to see what you hate about it because I'm sure it's all the things I like about it. Probably.
If I just put down everything, I pretty much told you I don't like it.
You have, yeah.
Everything.
Just literally everything.
I think it's down to that I watched it at the wrong time, and I just think now it hasn't aged well. I don't find it funny. The actors are awful in it. I don't like the storyline. It doesn't really make me feel Christmassy.
I guess the thing with Christmas movies is there's a relatively low bar, right? I mean, we're especially talking Christmas sequels.
My God, we had very few to pick from.
Yeah, there are not many Christmas movies that are good, let alone Christmas sequels that are good.
Yeah.
However, there are a lot of Christmas movies I objectively know are not good, but I still enjoy. And this is one of them.
There we go. We're gonna have to beg to differ.
Yeah, definitely, and that's cool.
Agree to not agree,
and that's what this whole podcast is about. Is that we're not talking about objectively as critics whether movies are good or not.
No.
Just talk about what we like, and that's what we get from our guests as well. We talk about what they like, not.
This didn't get my bells jangling.
No.
That wasn't meant to sound rude, but somehow it did.
It did somehow sound rude, yeah, weird.
What is your favourite or worst or dream Christmas sequel? This is they are kind of limited.
Yes.
There's not a huge amount.
What would be my ultimate Christmas sequel? I think what Christmas films I really like. It
could be bad ones as well.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for Home Alone 4,
this is a good
whatever
one.
it is.
Yeah.
Yes. It's Home Sweet Home Alone, which, it looks like an abomination. Look at that trailer. Because it's just a replay of the first one. But I do have a kind of a liking for the first two in a strange way. I mean, they're very silly films, and they're kind of Christmassy films. So a Home Alone 3 made at that time that still had Macaulay Culkin. And the idea that they would leave him on his own again to come up, it's almost like a speed concept. So how do we strand him again? It's hilarious.
They could put him on a boat.
Mother, put him on a boat. He's stuck on an ocean
They're
line,
going on
the wrong ocean line.
They're going on a cruise, and the family get on one boat, and he gets on the other.
And he gets on the other boat. So they've got to try and get these boats together. Yeah, exactly. Why their employers, I don't know. We've got all these great ideas. And to have Catherine O'Hara there once again going, Kevin, would be glorious. I mean, like nearly everybody else in the world, I adore the Muppets Christmas Carol. So any Christmas movie replayed with the Muppets would be aces in my book. You would just they seem to tell the stories better. So we could find a great Christmas story with the Muppets.
For some reason, I had the Jesus story in my head and had like Kermit as...
I'd watch it. I would watch it.
The Muppets Nativity.
The Muppets Nativity.
Yeah, Kermit as Joseph, Miss Piggy as Mary.
Obviously, as Mary. Gonzo as God.
Oh, my God.
The three wise men, Waldorf, Statler, and somebody else.
It writes itself.
Come on. It's all there. And all the animals in the barn. Come on, they're all...
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I mean, we're banned in every country in the world.
Fozzie could be a shepherd as well.
Oh, it's just fantastic, isn't it?
Beaker, shepherd with, what's his face? The other one. I think it writes itself.
What is your worst?
My worst is Jingle All the Way 2.
Oh, I've never seen. I only found out about it this morning.
Oh my God, it's a dumpster fire. Honestly. Okay.
So, you go for it, and I'll try and join in.
Jingle All the Way is one of those films that I've talked about already, which is not good. It is not a good film, but it still kind of has something about getting the Christmas feels. It's not. It's not one I have to watch every year. It's one I can acceptably watch because Arnie is slightly funny in it, and I kind of like the premise of trying to search for the last ever toy. But if you want to watch Jingle All the Way, I would suggest watch Click and Collect instead, because it's a much better version, which is the Stephen Merchant, Nassim Chowdhury movie. It's a much better version of Jingle All the Way.
Currently on Netflix, guys.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Yeah,
definitely watch that instead. It's much, much better. Jingle All the Way 2 is just hideous. It stars Larry the Cable Guy, who, if you're sitting there going, who? Then you're not alone. He's the voice of Mater in Cars and Cars 2 and Cars 3. Yes, that's all I can say about that. Essentially, the story is a little dissimilar to the first one. Larry and his wife are divorced, and she has remarried, and his daughter has a stepdad who is very, very rich. Larry is not very, very rich. And so to compete with the new stepdad, Larry decides that he will buy the toy, the toy of the year, which happens to be some sort of talking bear. The stepdad gets wind of this, and he wants to be loved by the daughter because he loves Christmas and he wants her to love him. So he decides, in order to stop the dad being the hero and getting the toy, he will buy all of the toys in the neighbourhood, all of these bears in the neighbourhood, and hide them away so that the dad can't be the hero. Yeah, it's as shit as it sounds, essentially.
Just stop. I was like, okay, I like the sound of this.
Yeah, it's
so what, and I only found out about this morning because I looked on a website and it showed me some Christmas sequels that I didn't know existed, like A Christmas Story 2.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't know that existed. I have seen this though, so I did know this existed, and I knew.
Why did you watch it? How? When?
Because I always try and watch Christmas movies at Christmas. So I try and get. I have my list of 12. I always try and get at least 3 or 4 new ones in there. Every year, and this happened to be one of those new ones that I got in about 2015-ish.
How old is it? Is it that old?
2014.
I've never heard of it.
It came out. So
wow.
That is 12 years after the first one, 13 years after the first one. So maybe a long time It has nothing to do with the first one, really. The comedy of the first one is two dads trying to track down the same toy that is sold out. Whereas this one is that toy companies are not that stupid that they don't produce enough toys for Christmas. There are enough toys that are produced. It's just this one guy is buying them all and putting them in a warehouse.
Okay, and it lacks an Arnold Schwarzenegger hole. Like,
oh, big time. Larry the Cable Guy is not Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a WWE production. So it's produced by the World Wrestling Entertainment Corporation. So
what wrestlers in it?
From what I can tell, there's no wrestlers in it. I think there is one wrestler in it that I don't recognise and I've never seen before or since. And he's in a very, very small part as kind of Larry's mate. But yeah. I was watching it thinking, I was like, gonna have like John Cena in it, or like people like that. No, nothing.
Yeah,
nothing. Maybe The Rock will crop up in it somewhere early on. No,
I'm gonna go and try and watch this.
It's not good.
It has to be on something.
It's not good. I think
it hasn't.
I think it's on Netflix actually. I was looking for it. I think it's on Netflix, or it might be on Amazon or something like that. I don't know because I've not watched it again. I couldn't bring myself to watch it again. So yeah, it's not good.
Oh wow! So is Larry the Cable Guy? Is he a comedian?
I think he's a comedian. Yeah, kind of like a Jeff Foxworthy kind of Southern comedian.
Right.
And he's not terrible. He's not terrible, but he's very. It's like watching Mater from Cars as a person. Essentially, that's basically who he is.
Oh my god!
I think Larry the Cable Guy is actually a character rather than the comedian himself.
So he's like Keith Lemon.
Yeah, he's like Keith Lemon, basically. Yeah.
I'm with you. And there's no like put the cookie down moment.
No, nothing like that. No. There's...
I did watch a trailer, and the trailer had nothing in it. Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah. They turned on some lights. It's just one of those titles that they've just thought it's nothing to do with Jingle All the Way, and they've just searched around for a title and thought, let's just stick that on.
Yeah,
it's like Mean Girls too. That has nothing to do about Mean Girls.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's very, very loosely like linked by a very tenuous plot device. I think it basically ends with everyone in the town finding out that it's this rich guy who's bought up all the bears and having a revolt. But by this time, somehow he and Larry have kind of made friends. He's like, right. I can never win against you because you're the fun one and I'm the boring one. And he's like, and Larry's like, I can never win against you because you're the rich one and I'm the poor one. And then they kind of be like, we should be friends after all, kind of bullshit. And yeah, they kind of like, they figure out that the town has turned on him. And so Larry loads all the bears into a truck and then they give them all out for free and pretend that it was all a ruse. It was all... Now,
does it have the Christmas spirit?
No, not really.
Doesn't sound like it.
No, it genuinely doesn't. And it turns out the little girl wasn't asking for one of those bears anyway. It was just her poor handwriting on a letter to Santa. And it was like...
What did she want?
Yeah, she didn't want one of the bears. She wanted their family to come together. She wanted a Christmas where her family are all together. I can't remember what the bear's called, but it's like a Harrison bear or something, and it like I can't remember. Okay, I don't want to watch it again to have to remember.
Guess what we're gonna do next year for our Christmas special? We're gonna do a watch along with Jingle All the Way to commentary.
Oh God, no.
Do you have any best, worst, or dream Christmas sequels?
So I had to think about this, and again, I was talking to my daughter about it, and I was just thinking, how many Christmas sequels have there been? And I didn't want to go with the obvious because I presumed that lots of people have said Home Alone, but I do think the second Home Alone film's amazing, as good as the first one. Is Die Hard 2? Is that a Christmas film?
Yeah, that counts.
Yeah. It's definitely set at Christmas. I watch it at Christmas.
Is there any others that you can think of that are...
My personal favourite is the Santa Claus 2. But, that's just me. And that's just because I like watching it with my little boy.
Christmas Vacation, I would say, is a sequel. That's good. If you're talking about dream sequels, everyone wanted an Elf 2. That hasn't happened yet. More of the Dudley Moore Santa Claus. That wouldn't have been a bad thing.
So, okay. Now, I'm not going to go for Home... I'm not going to go Home Alone. I'm going to go Christmas Vacation.
Nice.
If that's a sequel, I didn't even consider that. Appreciate that, Dave. You've just made this a lot easier for me. Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie in Christmas Vacation. I mean, he's the standout star of the first Vacation as well, when he gives Clark Griswold a pair of white slip-on shoes and refers to them as the gift that keeps on giving. Again, just wicked little scenes of him, in his own words, emptying the shitter.
Shitter's full.
So good. And I just love the fact that everything about Clark just wants to give his family the Christmas, and obviously he's waiting on that kind of bonus. And it's just so good. He's just a good soul, Clark Griswold, and everything, nothing goes smooth for him, I love our poignant poets in it.
Yeah.
In the Christmas one where he's in the loft, and he's looking back over the memories and stuff like that. It's brilliant. Obviously, it ends in catastrophe. There's a scene in the first Vacation that's really poignant, where he sits down and he has his first beer with Rusty, where he's just took the car off the side of the road and literally launched it into the desert. And that scene really sets out who Clark Griswold is, because he just wants to have a beer with his son, and he sees it as this moment of bonding. His son's obviously more intelligent than him. He gives the beer to his son. His son does what any other kid would do and necks the whole can, gives it back to Clark Griswold, whose comedy genius of just sipping it and then realising it's empty and looking at it and turning is amazing. He apologises to Rusty for what happened with the car, to which Rusty excitedly says, "Dad, you must have thrown that car 50 yards." And he just looks disappointed. And then as Rusty gets up and walks off, you just hear Clark go, 50 yards. He's just quietly pleased with himself. And I just love the fact that kind of is who he is. He is a child, but he's just doing his best and he wants the best, and it never works out for him. And I think, at Christmas, you just want that more than anything, don't you? And I think that Christmas film, again, Christmas films are really, obviously they're the sort of thing that you watch with your kids and you can watch with your family and stuff. And that's one that, that I will go to every year and go, right, let's have that.
Yeah, so do I. He just wants the perfect Christmas. I just thinking of funny scenes, the turkey scene, the tree scene when they're cutting it down and when it sits alight and when there's a cat. It's just, and the different family members. It's just fantastic. I hadn't watched that until I started dating my now wife, and she introduced me to Christmas Vacation, and now it's like a must every year. It's
Juliette
just amazing.
Lewis. The fact that he's out trying to find the perfect Christmas tree and she's up to her waist in snow, and D'Angelo's like, Clark, her lips have gone blue, and what is it like? Can you look a bit happier? I think she's just like, her eyes are frozen. Shit like that. I just love that quest for the perfect holiday in Vacation, to the perfect Christmas, and always the underdog and always getting it wrong. And I love it. I think any husband or father can kind of relate to that quest to try and make things perfect. And obviously, it never go into
the perfect day.
Of course,
it doesn't exist.
Of course, it doesn't.
So what was the dream sequel you were about to say?
Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, nice.
I love
Muppet. Never. You could never have enough Muppets in your life. Yeah, I just think they're incredible. That world is something that I can get completely lost in. I don't like, aside from Star Wars, I don't like sci-fi. I find it really hard to suspend my imagination.
Oh, really?
The guy that I do my hardcore listing podcast with, his favourite films, Aliens and Terminator and all of these films, and I just can't get on with them. And I put that down to my absolute, sci-fi was delivered to me by Star Wars, and it's never been beaten. And everything else falls short. Maybe not Flash Gordon. Yeah, the Muppets, from being old enough to remember the Muppet Show and watching the Muppet Show, and then watching Fraggle Rock, and watching the Great Muppet Movie and the Great Muppet Caper, to this day still haunted by at the beginning of the Muppet Movie, seeing Kermit the Frog riding a bike. No one should ever see that. No one should see his legs. It makes no sense. And then obviously the recent movie, which was amazing. I just think the Christmas... the Muppet Christmas Carol. I know there's no sequel to the Christmas Carol, but I'm sure that the Henson universe could come up with something
Christmassy,
and it'd be Christmassy and magical. And let's keep Michael Caine in it as well. He's perfect in that role. It's just I want to talk about the casting, but it's weird, isn't it?
Well, Gonzo's the best Muppet, right?
Who?
So Gonzo. He's my favourite Muppet, and him being Charles Dickens and with Rizzo is just
amazing.
Sublime. Those two together, the best. I know it's weird saying they have the best chemistry because they're puppets. They're Muppets.
I know what you mean.
It is incredible.
So, have you seen The Cheeky Middle Finger?
No.
So, and that's nothing that Miss Piggy's getting behind a bike shed or something like that. That's what it is when the Doctor and Beaker knock on the door, and he tips some bollocks and slams the door.
Yeah.
Beaker goes and literally gives him the middle finger. Next time you watch it, check it out.
I'm gonna watch that.
Brilliant. Beaker gives it the middle finger.
Let's go on to something good, Dave. Let's go on to something good. Please tell me about your dream Christmas sequel. Yeah.
Okay, you're going to be angry with me because I haven't got it down to one.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I want either a Christmas Vacation 2.
Right.
And recently you found out there was a vacation with Ed Helms.
Yeah.
I'd like a sequel to that, but a Christmas Vacation.
Okay.
With a funny Chevy Chase and a good script.
Back when Chevy Chase was funny.
I'm asking for a lot. I'm asking for the whole thing to be funny, to be honest. So it doesn't matter how bad that first vacation film, your reviews on it, but I think Christmas Vacation is one of the best Christmas films there is.
I almost picked it for my best sequel because strictly speaking, it is a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my second choice. And I would very much like to see a modern day telling of that story. Because I think the 21st century is a lot different from what it is now. I think, but some of it's still so well dated. Like they're putting the lights up, especially now. I feel people are going bigger with lights again now, especially in England. I drive around now, and compared to what it was like 10, 15 years ago, people are going big. Christmas tree, Christmas turkeys, getting your family around. I think there's a lot more road they can go with that.
Yeah.
My second choice is, and I don't really want to see it, but I do want to see it. I would like to see an Elf 2, but I have no idea where would you go with it.
Yeah.
Because the funny bits of Elf is Will Ferrell not knowing he's a human kind of thing.
Yeah.
And him experiencing human world in New York for the first time. But at the end of Elf, he knows what he is and who he is. And there's nowhere you can really do for it. And Will Ferrell was offered a lot of money to do a sequel, and he turned it down. So, respect to him for that one. And the third one is...
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah. And then we can discuss them. I'm surprised that they haven't done... And they've missed the boat now because he's old. But they didn't go back to a Christmas Die Hard. I'm surprised the studios didn't think, ka-ching.
Yeah. I think at Christmas... I don't think... Well, Die Hard 2 was a sort of a Christmas one, wasn't it? And it wasn't...
Yes, definitely. Definitely a Christmas film.
Die Hard 2's not great. And then they did Die Hard with a Vengeance, which wasn't a Christmas movie, which was great. So maybe that was kind of the what did it as for Die Hard as Christmas franchise potentially.
Yeah, but they don't care about that. Studios care about money.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And Bruce Willis literally does anything.
He really does. If you see the list of the movies he's done recently, I've heard of like 3 of them, and there's about 50.
They keep using the same picture on all the front covers of it. And it's just like,
yeah.
And he's only in them for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Can we go back to like Moonlighting Bruce Willis, where he was funny, please, rather than action Bruce Willis?
Well, I still think action Bruce Willis. There's he was very good.
Yeah, but the good thing about Bruce Willis, which is why he's brilliant in Die Hard, is that he's witty with it. John McClane is not, he's not an Arnold Schwarzenegger action hero. He's funny. He's not brilliant. He's not perfect. He is like slightly out of shape. Doesn't do everything perfect. But it does write, ho, 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 now I have a machine gun on someone's jumper when he's killed them. It's funny.
Yeah. What's your opinions of Die Hard being a Christmas movie?
It's 100% a Christmas movie, and people that argue that it's not a Christmas movie are wrong. It is set at a Christmas party. It's set at Christmas time. It is about a man trying to get back to his family. It is a Christmas movie. And people who argue that it's not a Christmas movie because it was released in July are arguing the same thing, that Dunkirk can't be a World War II movie because it was released in 2017. It's bollocks. It's a Christmas movie.
It's definitely. It's full of Christmas music.
Yeah. Christmas movie. Done.
If you've got a film and it's happening around a Christmas party, it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah. It is.
If I heard bells at one point in that movie.
But it's also it's the themes of a Christmas movie. It's a man trying to get back to his family for Christmas. That is the theme of the movie. It's such a Christmas movie. So yeah, sorry, don't get anyone who says it's not. It's not.
Rich gets angry.
I do. Die Hard is a Christmas movie, just like Gremlins is a Christmas movie, and just like I'd even argue Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. It's in my list.
So would I.
Good.
Definitely.
We're on it. Right, okay. So let's go back to your choices. So Christmas Vacation, 100% agree. I would love to see a Christmas Vacation sequel with Chevy Chase, who was actually funny. I know some people don't like that movie, but that's weird. Who doesn't like it? It's one of the best Christmas movies.
It's good.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
I would very much like a sequel of that. Your Elf sequel, I sort of thought about that too, because I'm not someone who dislikes Elf. I like Elf. I think Elf is...
I love Elf.
I think Elf's very Marmite. I think people either absolutely hate it or absolutely love it, and I'm definitely in the love it camp. Although I'm with Will Ferrell, and I have no clue where a sequel could go. I think it's done. I think it's a story that is told. I don't think there could be a sequel. No. I'm not sure what story it would tell. So I think, again, that's why I didn't pick Elf, because I couldn't tell you where it would go.
Well, that is the problem, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, what is the story to be told? And there isn't one, but I like Will Ferrell playing that character.
True. I do like Buddy the Elf. I think he's great.
Yeah.
I like... I love watching it with my son, because we both chuckle at the same bits. Where he does the massive...
Santa's here!
Yeah. Santa! And you're not Santa, you smell of beef and cheese!
Yeah.
And the bit where he drinks all the bottle of Coke and then burps for like half an hour. We both laugh at that bit.
And the snowball fight. Yeah. It's all good.
It's all good. It's so good. And James Caan being miserable and not enjoying it. And yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's a very well cast movie, that.
Yeah, but again, I can't see where it would go. I can't see how they could capture magic in a bottle twice. You just can't do it.
You're right.
So yeah.
And my third one was a third Die Hard Christmas movie, but
yeah.
I don't know the storyline of there just be another terrorist, and so really my main one would be Christmas Vacation.
That works.
I'd like to get Juliette Lewis back as the daughter.
Nice.
You have to have Ed Helms because he was on the last one.
Yeah.
So the auntie could be in it. Well, she wasn't in it last time. No, Leslie Mann was the woman's sister or something. Anyway, ignore all that. I just want to see another Balls Up at Christmas with that lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It would be fun. Is there a Christmas sequel you really like, really hate, or one you would like to see a sequel of? So, for example, An Elf 2 is the go-to for my examples. There's lots of bad ones.
I mean, the one that I don't understand why they've sort of remade it. It's a sequel, kind of an equal remakey thing, is the new Home Sweet Home Alone. There's naught wrong with Home Alone. Doesn't need redoing. But yeah, trying to think of a
More Santa Clauses, the one with Dudley Moore.
I mean, I do love a National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. What's not to love about, like, I love when they put all the lights on the house and Julie Louis-Dreyfus is across the road trying to sleep with just this blaring light in her kitchen. I love it. I'd always happily see another one of those. But, then there's the Die Hards, which, is it a Christmas movie? Is it not?
Yes.
I do like Die Hard too. Well, then that's a good Christmas movie, isn't it? It's a good sequel.
What are your go-to Christmas movies?
Yeah. Oh, and it's Bad Santa. Watch it every Christmas. Dirty, dirty Bad Santa. Filthy.
How do you feel about a sequel to that?
It's all right. It was okay. Not as good, but I still was quite happy to have more filth. I just think it's really funny swearing at children. I don't know why. It's just very juvenile of me. Or children swearing, and that has both things. I love Bad Santa. I also love The Grinch, the one that the live action with Jim Carrey. Yeah, I don't know why people don't like that. I love that. He's such a mean weirdo, eating light bulbs in his cave and shouting hate, 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 positively loathe down the valley. I mean, I feel like I have a lot in common with The Grinch when I watch that. So I love that one. People don't like it, do they? They're not keen.
I think people have come around to it.
You think it's come back? Okay, good.
My son loves it. I've watched it a lot of times because he absolutely loves it. But he likes anything that's a bit creepy and nasty.
You can lose Mary Lou Who's like little sing song. That's one thing that could go. But the rest of it is pleasantly unpleasant.
The problem is, problems I had was I didn't know what the Grinch was. And then I married a Canadian woman. And she brought all this kind of stuff into my life. And,
Cat in the Hat as well. Yeah.
And now I have to watch The Grinch every year.
But that's no bad thing.
No, I quite enjoy it. Kerry is worth the money alone now. Like, he goes to places and that.
Yeah, I mean, he made Sonic the Hedgehog good. I was happy watching Sonic the Hedgehog to see him going off the chart as the baddie. I love that. So yeah, I'll watch anything with Jim Carrey. I think he's a genius. But yeah, other Christmas movies. I'm not that fond of It's a Wonderful Life. I don't know why it's at number one every time. I find it maudlin and annoying. So there we go. And I hate, positively loathe, as the Grinch would say, Love Actually.
Yeah, that's that. I don't think that film is entirely aged brilliantly as well.
It's not aged well. No. My wife hates it too.
I'm amazed they haven't done not like a sequel, but with more stories. Because Love Actually, you could just do more crappy romance stories at Christmas. You don't have to bring those characters back. Not like the comic relief one.
No.
I'm amazed they haven't rolled that out again, something like that.
Yeah.
Because they've done like New Year's Day and Valentine's Day, and
there's a Boxing Day coming out this Christmas, which is much more diverse, which is one of the problems of Love Actually. A London film where only white people live, and then so Boxing Day might be quite the thing. That'd be quite interesting to see. But yeah, I think we can all agree. I mean, there's been much discourse on this, but the Andrew Lincoln stalking his friend's wife and ruining their wedding video just to be a stalker and then standing outside her house with placards is just like unbelievably creepy and weird.
Yeah, it's not romantic.
It's not romantic. It's just odd. And if that guy did that, you wouldn't just like kiss him on the cheek. You'd be like, I'm getting a restraining order. Please don't come to our house ever again.
That's your best mate in there.
Yeah. What is wrong with you? The only good bit really is Emma Thompson crying quietly in her bedroom because her husband's not bought her the gift she thought she was getting. But yeah.
I was watching a Harry Potter yesterday at the cinema, and no one can quite hold a pause like Alan Rickman.
Oh,
the man
Rickman
is. In my head, I was watching. I'm just going for all these films, and we just like
looks at the camera. Even Die Hard, his pauses as Hans Gruber and stuff.
And who can forget the Sheriff of Nottingham in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves?
The Man Steals Films.
The pause when he says, "You, my room, 8:45. You, 9 o'clock," and then he goes, "Bring a friend." It's like, it's brilliant. And the whole when he says, "And cancel Christmas," it's he's well, there you go, the little Christmas nod there in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
I kind of searched for a Christmas film where I felt there was more to tell, and there was more story, and I've settled on the Santa Claus 4. No, I haven't. No, sorry, that's
fucking hell.
I just want to see your face, Dave. I just want to see your face. It's not the Santa Claus 4. It's Polar Express.
Oh, fucking hell.
Again, I can tell you hate this movie.
It's shit. It's
really?
Shit.
Dang.
So shit.
It's not. Oh, that's sad. That's really sad.
You know why it's shit? There's that one annoying kid that talks like this and he just makes a really annoying noise.
He's supposed to be annoying. His journey is that he learns not to be so annoying because he learns to listen.
His journey is... Oh, no. They're all creepy.
I think the animation is slightly creepy, but it was early days of that type of animation, right? And I think some of it is... Yeah, some of it's intentionally quite creepy, but, that's, sometimes some things in Christmas are a bit creepy. But yeah, I think there's more to tell in that movie, and I think I quite enjoy it. I quite enjoy it as a Christmas movie, and I think there is more to tell about what happens to the kids when they get back home. Do they get back together and figure out whether it's a dream or whether it was real? What happens? What happens next year? Is there another Polar Express that takes other kids off to see Santa? Do those kids try and wait up for the Polar Express and have a plan to get back again and to go and see Santa again? I think there's loads to it. There's genuinely loads to it. And I think it was pretty groundbreaking for the time as well. I know it doesn't stand up now, but it was pretty groundbreaking at the time. And I think the ways forward with animation that we've made now could make it really great. Yeah, go on then.
Yeah,
you rip it to shreds.
I don't. I would like to. Yeah, technology has caught up, and Robert Zemeckis is a brilliant director.
Yeah, Tom Hanks and Robert Zemeckis is a match made in heaven.
I just found it incredibly annoying to watch and a real struggle. I found it too long. I don't know even how long it is. It's probably under an hour and a half, and everything wound me up about it. I found it really creepy. Even the idea of it, really creepy.
Yeah.
I've only ever watched it twice, Rich.
Okay.
So this is probably why my memory's struggling to remember what I don't like about it. Maybe I should watch it again. Maybe they should just redo it.
Yeah, maybe a reboot.
A remake. Yeah, remake. Is it a children's book originally? Or is it a fresh story?
Yeah, it's based on a book. And I think there is more to the book than's in the movie. So I think there's more story in the book. So I think that's where there's more story to tell. But yeah, I think it deserves a sequel. I think it's a...
Would you bring Tom Hanks back?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's like every other character. He plays like 15 characters in this movie. And it was funny because we watched the Santa Claus 2 with my son, and then we watched Polar Express, and then he was like, that was Buzz, and this is Woody. It was like he was excited about them being Buzz and Woody from Toy Story.
What year did the Polar Express come out?
I don't know, actually. I should probably look that up.
I'd say what ages were we? Is it another one I just ignored? I felt I was too old.
Yeah, I didn't watch it as a kid. So I don't think it was...
I reckon we would be in our teens, Rich.
2004, so we were at university.
We're at university more than...
Yeah. And I didn't watch it then. I didn't watch it
me neither.
Until... I think my wife maybe made me watch it. So I think I was well into adulthood. But yeah, I enjoy it, Dave. I think it's, I think it's all right.
Do you think you see these kind of films different to me because you have a child?
Maybe. Maybe, but I think I mean, there's always some. I've always really, really loved Christmas, and there's something inherent about Christmas movies that makes me feel warm and fuzzy, even if they're bad. And so,
I don't get that. So you like the Hallmark Christmas shit?
No. Okay, there's a line. So I don't want to watch it about Cyril the bloody Christmas hedgehog or whatever that thing is. No, there is a line. However, I do think I enjoy Christmas movies that I know are not good movies because I just love Christmas so much, and they make me feel warm and fuzzy. Like I've said about the Santa Claus, I know they're not good movies. And Polar Express, I can absolutely understand why you hate it, and I totally get it, and it is a bit creepy, but I still really like it.
I think the creepiness is down because I don't like puppets.
Yeah,
stuff,
I think
I don't like that.
I can see that.
There's definitely a thing there. And people might be surprised that our worst choices weren't some of the recent Netflix they're putting out, like the Christmas Switch with Vanessa Hudgens or whatever it is.
I think it's because I haven't seen that.
The Christmas... Oh, put them on your list next year. The Christmas Prince or the Christmas Princess.
Yeah.
Christmas Royal Baby, Royal Christmas Baby.
It's just not stuff I'd watch. That's the thing, I think.
But what about... Did you watch the Kurt Russell one? The Christmas
Chronicles? I did.
Which is... The first one's great.
The first one's great.
The
second one, yeah, not so good. And I thought about Bad Santa 2 as well.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's all right. It's just, it's okay. It's more of the same.
I was burnt by Anchorman 2 and Zoolander 2 to even go back to Bad Santa 2.
Yeah.
I put it in that kind of bracket.
Yeah, it's probably the right place for it to be. It's not as bad. It's not as bad as Anchorman 2 or Zoolander 2. It's better than those two, but yeah, it doesn't stand up to the first one. And I think that's the problem with Christmas movies and trying to pick Christmas sequels is that they just don't lend themselves to sequels. I don't think. I don't think any Christmas movie lends itself to a sequel. It should be something you watch that makes you feel things, makes you feel a bit warm and fuzzy, and then you can leave it alone. I think about the Christmas movies that I really love, and none of them are particularly sequels. And also the new Christmas movies that have come out that I quite like. So Claus
is magnificent, and that is just a work of art.
That's lovely. That's a lovely movie, but I wouldn't want a sequel. I don't think. And I like I say, the Christmas Chronicles I really enjoyed, but the sequel is not good. And then this year, A Boy Called Christmas, that's lovely, but there's no sequel to that.
No.
There's no way of doing that sequel. It's a lovely film. 8-Bit Christmas is a lovely film. That is and Neil Patrick Harris is brilliant in that.
That reminded me of A Christmas Story.
It does,
that kind of feel to it.
It is like A Christmas Story, but A Christmas Story shouldn't have had a sequel. God knows why they had a sequel. Money, but yeah. That these films do not lend themselves to sequels naturally. So there we go. That's why it's been so difficult, I think. And that's why we're quite polar opposites on stuff, because I've gone for what gives me the feels and you've gone for what's a good movie.
I think Christmas sequels are very difficult and they're very far between. So I'm not quite sure what we're going to do for our Christmas special next year, but we'll come up with something.
So those were ours and our guests' Unequal Christmas sequels.
Wow. Yeah, that was a tongue twister and you actually got through it.
That was... it was not easy.
Thank you for those that we remember to ask questions to, and that they gave us brilliant answers on the spot as well.
Yeah. And also, quite nice for us not to agree, Dave. We so often agree when we talk about movies. And it was quite nice for us not to agree. I love the fact that my favourite Christmas sequel is your least favourite Christmas sequel.
I just don't want to watch it every year, Rich. And every year it seems to come on in my household and it really winds me up.
Maybe Tiff can come over to my house and watch it.
Yeah.
You can
go around the Wiltshires. They'll love it.
Yeah. She can come over here and we can have a Santa Claus marathon. And
even if she suggested number 3, you'd be like, oh, okay. Or would you kick her out at that point?
I'd do it. I'd watch it. It's fine. If I get to watch the first 2, I can put up with the third one.
No way. No thanks. I would like there to be some more Christmas films because I'm getting a bit. This year, I found myself getting a bit bored of the other Christmas films. That's why I've really enjoyed watching A Boy Named Christmas or 8-Bit Christmas, and stuff like that this year. More fresher ones that I haven't watched. I even watched one called Godmothered the other day on the Disney Channel that wasn't horrible. Really wasn't a Christmas film, but it's set around Christmas.
Okay.
So.
All right then, maybe worth a watch. So yeah. So if you enjoyed this weird mashup of a Christmas episode, our episodes aren't normally like this one. We just did this especially for our Crimbo episode. But go back and listen to all of our other episodes. We have wonderful guests, and join us back in January in the new year for Ian Nathan, who's we preview slightly on this one because we've already let the cat out of the bag, so we may as well just talk about it. But yeah, come back January. Yeah, gives a little follow on the old social media. We are at Unequal Sequel on Instagram and Twitter, and you can send us an email unequalsequel@hotmail.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's nice that I can get these.
We are well oiled now.
Yeah, and as we say, we're having a little bit of a Christmas break, so we're not going to be doing the extra episodes. Dave's flying off to Canada, so he's not going to be around over Christmas. So I'm sorry about the editing quality of this episode. It was all me. This is not normally what happens.
It's gotta be fine.
And yeah, I like the fact that you're going away and leaving me with one that's quite possibly the most editing work to do. You've avoided that one nicely.
Yep. Yep. It should be easy.
Good.
Just line them up, chop, 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 chop.
Yeah.
Drop,
Right.
drop, 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 drop.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks upload.
Good. Well, have a wonderful Christmas. You'll be listening to this on the 27th, so you'll already have had a wonderful Christmas. But have a wonderful, those weird few days between Christmas and New Year that no one knows what to do with. Enjoy that. Eat all the chocolate. Finish off the turkey. Don't think about work. Have some time off if you can. And we'll see you in the new year.
Remember, watch Jingle All the Way 2, and...
Don't watch Jingle All the Way 2, please God.
Watch Jingle All the Way. I'm going to be watching Jingle All the Way 2. Bye from me, bye-bye, and a goodbye from the big man.
Bye!
Ho, ho, ho. See you next year.
Ho, ho, ho!
Have a good one. Bye.